What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update, guys. I know you could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, definitely gonna want to see this one as we're witnessing Kamala Harris making a special guest appearance on a set of ABC's The View in this newest update. And I'm just going to say things went off the rails very quickly. I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it, guys. Just make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before I even get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. I'm sure this is going to be laughable.
First, let me say that I like candidates who show up for interviews. Just saying.
I know she wasn't talking to Kamala Harris. Show up for interviews. She doesn't show up for any interviews that's going to actually challenge her. Like, come on, off the rip.
First, let me say that I like candidates who show up for interviews. Just saying. You know, we all know the background of the guy. Is a convicted felon, okay, a big-time loser, has been pretty open about his plans, if elected, to stack D.C. with loyalists, going after the media and comedians. How threatened do you have to be to go after comedians? He wants to do some mass deportations, which really is a throwback to the 30s.
My thing with this whole mass deportation thing and like the left being upset with it, if they're here illegally, why are you guys so upset about mass deportation of illegal people who came here illegally? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Wants to do some mass deportations, which really is a throwback to the 30s. A dictatorship by any other name. This is what he is planning. People are saying this could be the closest election in a century. I personally cannot understand why anyone would vote for him. A lot of it is, I think, he's getting bad information. People are getting bad information from other channels. But do you have an explanation for this at all?
Well, let me just add to your list. I mean,
we don't listen. It's only an hour show.
Exactly how much time do you have?
Twice impeached.
Including, he has said he would terminate the Constitution of the United States.
Yeah.
And Joy, here's what I'd say.
That's more of that fear mongering off top coming from Kamala Harris. Notice how they just straight up start in on Donald Trump straight off the top. Like, it didn't take them much time at all to get Donald Trump on the tip of their tongue. It's just sad to see that Trump derangement syndrome is alive and very real, guys.
Look, I just recently did an event with Liz Cheney, the former congresswoman.
I know.
Her father, the former vice president, Dick Cheney, has supported me.
Unbelievable.
There are over 200 former members of both Bush presidencies, John McCain, Mitt Romney, who have endorsed me. Leading thinkers in the national security space are supporting me. And frankly, one of the things that I'm very proud of that we have done collectively is we really are building a coalition around some very fundamental issues, including that we love our country and that we have to put country before party. We have to agree about the sanctity of the oath we take to defend the Constitution of the United States.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this new America First patriotic Kamala Harris. It just seems like she wears a new face for every single occasion, guys. Give it up.
About the sanctity of the oath we take to defend the Constitution of the United States, to support the Constitution of the United States. And I do believe the closer we get to the election, the more that people reflect on what's at stake, including the fact that the former president tried to undo the will of the people in a free and fair election on January 6th, led what was a violent attack on the United States Capitol. 140 uniformed law enforcement officers were attacked. Some died. I have seen from people who are former Trump supporters who are supporting me, that was a bridge too far. And back to the point about even the hurricanes that are the one that's about to hit Florida, what has already hit, I think people are exhausted. And they're exhausted.
I will say she's right on that point where she's saying that, you know, folks are exhausted, definitely tired of being ignored. You know, we keep getting these false promises coming from Kamala Harris, those on the left, saying that they've got a solution to all of our problems, everything that's wrong with, you know, America right now, but they keep getting ignored. As soon as you put these people in positions of power, it's sad to see, honestly.
Has already hit. I think people are exhausted.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they're exhausted with the lies. They're exhausted with the selfishness. They're exhausted with the attempt to divide us as Americans. And they're
Well, at least she knows. At least she knows it's them driving the wedge. Folks are looking to their left. Folks are looking to the right. They're looking at their neighbors and they're seeing that we're all going through some sort of struggle, similar struggles, honestly, and we can relate more than we are different. And that's where this whole divisive culture is not going to work, guys.
selfishness. They're exhausted with the attempt to divide us as Americans. And they're ready to turn the page and chart a new way forward.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I feel
Lord.
very optimistic about that.
I'm sorry. I think she needs to toss this whole new way forward thing. I mean, Joe Biden literally just got up there in the White House press briefing and said they're singing the same exact song from the same songbook and page. Guys, I mean, come on. One accord. There is no new way forward. You can literally continue on what Biden has created.
Vice President, when you were here last, I asked about the border, which remains a top issue to voters. And as you rightly pointed out, the former president blocked the strongest border security bill in decades. But there remains this perception among voters that the Biden administration dragged its feet and waited too long to act to address the border crisis. Can you
Exactly.
speak to why voters may feel that way?
Sure. Well, first of all, to your point, when we first came in office, hours after we were inaugurated, the first bill we offered before infrastructure, before bringing down the cost of prescription medications, it was to fix our broken immigration system. And it never got taken up, in large part for political reasons, because solutions are at hand, and we need to fix the problem. Then, to your point, a bipartisan group of members of the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members.
Here she goes, guys. This part is getting tired too. This play right here that they're trying to run is a very old, putting Donald Trump in front of all the trouble, just throwing him underneath the bus, saying, hey, it's Donald Trump's fault. He is the reason to blame. If you think that, we're having a border crisis or this country is being flooded with illegal migrants, it's all because of Donald Trump, the guy who's not even in office, the guy who hasn't been in office for over 4 years now, almost over 4 years now. Like, come on, it doesn't make
Group
sense.
of members of the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members, work together with our support to craft the most serious and strong border security bill we've seen in years.
Yes.
Donald Trump got word of it and told them, don't put the bill up for a vote, because he didn't want a solution, because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. So then we had to do, in addition to what we've done since day one in trying to strengthen the border, we took further action in terms of executive action. We have seen illegal immigration reduced by half, the intake of fentanyl.
She can't even get that out, first of all. I wasn't the point while I was stopping it, but she can't even get out what she's saying. But they signed these executive orders. Joe Biden did. She should have been in his ear since day one.
Strengthen the border. We took further action in terms of executive action. We have seen illegal immigration reduced by half, the intake of fentanyl reduced by half. But ultimately, if we want a real fix to this, Congress has to act. We need, for example, in that bill, we would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why the Border Patrol supported it. I went down to the border, and let me tell you, these border agents are working around the clock. They're trying as hard as they can. They need more resources.
But what she won't tell you is that border bill would have also, shoveled out more bucks, American tax dollars over to Ukraine, guys, when they can't even look to help these, victims of Hurricane Helene. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. She's not even going to address that, though.
Agents are working around the clock. They're trying as hard as they can. They need more resources. I have personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have taken on the cartels. I've prosecuted the cartels. I understand the serious nature of this issue and the need to fix it. And solutions are at hand. But again, Donald Trump prefers to run on problems instead of fixing problems. He's not solution oriented. And again, I will invite people, if you really need to know how he thinks, since he doesn't do these kinds of interviews, watch his rallies. He spends full time.
Now she's urging people to go and watch Donald Trump's rallies. Okay, hey, I definitely go sit down and see a couple of his rallies. We're definitely gonna get way more substance than what we got right here. No beat potatoes whatsoever. All we've gotten is a bunch of word salad. Exactly what I came in here thinking I was going to get, man. I'm pretty sure the comments on this thing, even though it's ABC's The View, I know the comments are eating her up, because at this point, it is just so apparent, guys, what she's trying to do. Blame Donald Trump, blame shift her way into office. And I just don't see that being a possibility. I mean, people can see straight through this.
Do these kinds of interviews, watch his rallies.
Yeah.
He spends full time engaged in grievance about what has happened to him.
Right. That's
He
true.
spends full time perpetuating lies and misinformation. He spends full time talking about fictional characters. You know, I mean,
name calling, a lot of name
and
calling.
name calling and
Yeah.
demeaning people, belittling people. But what he does not talk about is you. He does not talk about what you need. He does not talk about what your parents need, what your children's need. That's not what he talks about. He doesn't talk about your child's needs. He talks about his needs.
Right.
And I think, again, back to the point, in this election, people are ready for a new generation of leadership that's about fixing problems.
Oh my goodness, guys. I got to see the comments on this one. I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can see too. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. We got, what's the oh, you can't see the dislikes on this. All right, so we've got Citizen Kamala. What actual plans do you have? Kamala, well, you see middle class neighborhoods, exactly. I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with mass deportation. That's what I'm saying. Literally, why would anyone have a problem? That was the point I literally brought up. Why did anyone have a problem with that? It doesn't make sense. I like candidates who show up to interviews. Man, with all due respect, Kamala has been dodging every interview that'll actually challenge. I mean, like, the people in the comments, this is ABC's The View that we just watched that from. They're inside of a left-wing media outlet's comment section, absolutely going in. And it just goes to show you, these are people who are fans, subscribe to The View, and they just are fed up with it. They just lie endlessly. Endlessly, guys. I mean, come on, y'all. Definitely hop in the comment section, man. Let me know y'all thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We go.